We're talking with Kevin. Kevin, you're with Allworth's Money Matters.
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
So I'll be turning 60 here in a few weeks, and probably
Happy
plan
birthday.
to retire. Oh, thank you.
That's an exciting one.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know about that, but it's exciting in that I'm planning to retire probably in the 2 to 3 year window.
Oh.
And I've got a pretty good nest egg with the 401. I've continued to aggressively contribute through that. And in addition to my 401 contributions, I've been contributing to a Roth IRA. But as I'm getting closer to retiring, pre-Social Security, I'd like to probably, delay that. I'm wondering if it would be better, instead of contributing to a Roth, to just start building up like a cash bridge, maybe like through something like Treasury Direct or what have you.
Well, here's the thing. You can take out your contributions to your Roth regardless of your age. It's just your earnings that have to wait till retirement time. And there's a 5-year clock that starts when you open that IRA, but you've already opened that Roth IRA. You've already opened.
So how old are your Roth IRA? When did you make your first contribution to the Roth IRA?
Probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's a 3 year. You had a 3 year window. It's three more years.
Window, and
once it's 5 years.
Principal. Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah, so I would keep using that because you might not need that. You might, but you might not. But if you don't, you've got it in this nice tax favored vehicle.
And so how much money do you have in qualified dollars? 401ks, IRAs, that sort of thing. 457.
Yeah, so like my 401k, I'm like between that all in, probably about $1.5 million, not excluding the wife. But then I was late to the Roth party, so probably only a third of that is after tax dollars.
Okay. So a third of it, so $2 million, and it's hard to exclude the wife if she's going to be included in your retirement.
Well, yeah.
So assuming
we're going to exclude the wife,
she's doing really well on herself too. She's a teacher, so she'll have her pension, and then she's probably got another $400,000.
Okay. And Kevin, will you have a pension?
In a Roth. I will not. No. So I'll be strictly Social Security, which I'm hoping to probably delay to 67 at least.
All right, and the reason I bring this up is, right, you want to look at that bridge because the time between your date of retirement and the day you start Social Security is a really good time to look at Roth conversions.
Okay.
Right. So if you either build your own financial plan or
of this 1.5 million, if you were to retire today, how much do you plan on taking out a year from that to replace your salary?
No, probably pretty close to 80,000. Probably on the bottom end. Plus, when we retire, that's when I'm planning on some big expenses. Vacations or
how much do you make
weddings,
now?
Kids. I make about 100. I'm in commission sales, so it can range from 80 to 160, 180.
And how old are your kids?
My kids are 25 and 26.
Okay, you don't have to worry about them financially anymore.
No, yeah, college is paid for. House is a few months away from being paid for. So.
Okay, so house will be paid for as well. And do you plan on never going back to work, or you're just ready to this high pressure job, ready to call it quits? And
no, I'd like to keep myself busy with something. So.
You should pay for a financial plan.
Yeah. Have you modeled this out?
I have. I've worked with a financial advisor. I mean, we've modeled it out at the point where I just want to make sure I'm going to be okay, but tailored to a specific course of action, is still a little squishy.
Well, that's because you're a couple years off.
Yeah, but I'd pick a date and aim at it. I'd pick a date.
Work with your advisor and say, I'm going to retire this particular date.
Yeah.
What does this look like? Let's assume what my portfolio is going to be worth at that time. Where's the income going to come from, and model it out.
Yeah, I'd pick a date. I would pick a date 18 months to 36 months in the future and just say, give me this number on this particular date if both myself and or my wife go into retirement. Or give them, look, I did it with my in-laws. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they were talking about retirement. They kept asking me questions. And I said, just go to an advisor. Happened to be an Allworth advisor. I'm kind of partial to them. Go to an advisor and show them everything you have and then give them the dates that you both want to retire. They don't have to be the same dates. And they came back and said, we're not going to hit that date exactly, but we're within 12 months of that particular date, and it worked perfectly. He retired sooner and she retired later.
Because the one of the risks you have is you're pretty young to be retiring, right?
Yes.
And you've had a pretty decent wage with your commissions and all, which is you don't have enough money saved up to replace that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I, you mentioned the Roth conversions, and I mean that's kind of top of mind, I think, for me, especially the first year or two. If I didn't have income, that would allow me to convert more. Correct? Or
that's correct. But you also, how old is your wife?
Same age. We're within 3 or 4 months of each other.
And in retirement, how do you pay for medical?
Yeah, that would be, I think, that's a very good point.
She's a teacher.
She's a teacher, so she has retiree health benefits, and I don't know the pricing, if it would be beneficial for me to get onto her plan or just go out into the marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
The market's very expensive.
Yes.
Probably her plan.
And so I knew you had mentioned earlier that she was a teacher. You have to actually build that into the plan as well as what kind of benefits health insurance. It makes it easier for you to retire, by the way, if you actually are covered under her retiree health insurance. Unless she stays, the best thing that could happen is you retire and she works till she's 75.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was excluding the wife anyway. So.
Yeah, he didn't exclude the wife in the retirement.
Yeah, these trips. No, I only need to plan the cruise for one person.
I know. I'd save so much money.
I'll save so much money.
I am starting to
just dinner for one.
For like my monthly budget, I'm factoring that. I am factoring in, $1,500 a month for health insurance. I don't,
A good financial advisor will actually model this at a date and actually, and a good financial advisor would be highly concerned about the health insurance between the dates you retire and
and 65.
And yes.
Yeah. And, so what happens if your wife suddenly has an early death? What's that do for your medical?
So if you're engaged with an advisor now, just go and give them the actually very specific dates and then just target to that. And then it makes it so much easier to plan.
I will.
All right. Appreciate the call.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Wish you well.
Right, take care.
Yeah, it's pretty.
He didn't exclude his wife in retirement.
It's relatively young to be retiring.
Very young.
Turning 50 and planning on retiring in a couple of years.
Yeah.
We saw that in the 90s, and the stock
In
market
the
kept going
60s,
high.
yeah.
A lot of people were retiring younger and younger, and
For a while.
then the markets fell. They couldn't afford it, and then they pushed off retirement. And now we're seeing a lot of people delaying retirement or continuing to do some sort of employment.
Yes, and
When they
large
have
part of that
financial
is the health insurance is a driver.
That's right.
But the .com boom, do you remember the commercial with E-Trade where the guy was on a gurney?
No.
You don't remember this? He was face down on a gurney, he was coming out of a room, and he had money coming out of his rear end.
No, I don't remember that
remember?
ad. They were pretty aggressive in some of their marketing campaigns.
It says you have so much money, you'd have this problem. And they had a guy, they were going to operate on him because he had so much money.
Because he had an account at E-Trade.
He had an account at
They also
E-Trade.
had the babies. It's so easy a baby can do it.
Yeah, for a while.
For a while. You don't see the name E-Trade anymore, do you?
No.
They got bought by somebody.
Morgan Stanley? Smith Barney?
I can't keep track.
Something like that?
I can't keep
They were
track of
bought
them
by
all.
someone.
Does Smith Barney name still exist? I don't think so.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
I don't think it does. I mean, there's been so much consolidation.
In the industry. And it will continue.
As most industries and consolidation, that's part of what
Yes.
happens.
Yes.
Companies grow.